Hey, thank you for coming by, Tori Magoo 44. Today's June 8th, and I appreciate you coming by my channel. Yesterday, a bunch of us went to the testing center, which is here in Los Angeles. It's on Hollywood Boulevard, right off Highland. It's the big long sign that you guys have probably seen in a lot of photographs and videos and things like that. So they had it open for years. It was the testing center. Then I think four of us were picketing there years ago, and from that they ended up shutting it down and renovating the whole thing. Now it's like really snazzy. And to quote a guy who walked by yesterday, this is just a guy walking by who had nothing to do with it. And he said, it's so weird. They have these beautiful buildings that are all decked out to the top, but there's nobody in them. And I said, that is so true. Because this is just a public person and their observation, but it's so, so true. So yesterday they're furiously trying to get people. It's Sunday afternoon and they're trying to get people to go into the testing center. And we're there. My favorite example was this family that they come walking down the street because they now cover the whole block with people up and down grabbing people. And they had gone to the end of the block where we weren't at the time and given out these tickets to come see some film at the testing center. And so they come walking down the street. They're all holding their Dianetic tickets, and it's a mother, a father, and three kids, and they've all got tickets. And I look at the mom and I say, "You're a mom. I'm a mom. I'm going to tell you something. I speak to mothers every single day who cannot talk to their children, and it's awful. It is awful. Scientology does break up families, and they take your money." And they'll cut you off from your kids or your husband, whichever it has to be. My husband of 27 years of marriage will not talk to me at all. And he's at the top of Scientology, where you're supposed to be OT and able to do anything and cause over matter, energy, space, and time. Is he cause over anything? No. Not if he can't talk to me. I mean, look at me. Really? I'm suppressive. I'm evil. I'm equal to Hitler, which they said once in a meeting. It's like, oh, yeah, couldn't be funnier. Okay, so I said that, and then I said, I speak from experience, from 30 years of experience on this. And the lady looks at the guy, and they all take their tickets and they hand them back to him and they walk out. And I'm like, yes. So that was good. And we had a bunch of different things. There was Graham, Smurf, um, Ombre was here, visiting guest, Drew, and which is Casper. Um, Trying to think if there's somebody else. I think there was. Oh yeah, Brett came. So anyway, and me. So we were there, and we had a lot of people doing a lot of things, talking to a lot of different people. I started saying, because they're really after Black people, Hispanics, or Latinos, as my friend said that I should say, but the news is always calling them Hispanic, so I say that. Um, but people that are of any that speak Spanish for sure. Now they have a Spanish speaking person out there to talk to them in Spanish to try to rope them in, and young people. So I started saying, if you're young, if you're Black, if you're Hispanic, they are after you. And this one guy, I mean, it was like Field of Dreams where, they put their hand through the corn. He's just like walking into the corn, right? Only it's not corn. It's really creepy. And he hears that and he turns around and looks at me and I go, I speak from 30 years of experience on it, man. And he steps back and walks on down the street. I'm like, yes. And it's like, why do I say yes? People go, oh, you're a religious bigot. No, I'm not. I don't care what someone believes. They can follow Scientology all they want. But I speak out against their abuses. They stop free speech. They break up families. They have medical abuse, which I experienced for 30 years, having epilepsy, and they trying to get me to get off my medicine and handle it with Dianetics or knots or whatever, which it doesn't. And if you have a medical condition and you're in Scientology, number one, get a doctor that is not a Scientologist. Number two, if you need medication, take your medication and screw them as far as, oh, you're a degraded being because you take medication. L. Ron Hubbard took medication for most of his life. You don't know that when you're in, and they're always pitching how, oh, it's the psychs. Well, L. Ron Hubbard died with psych drugs in his ass. So, wake up, learn the facts. I didn't. So I know, I understand. I told the guard yesterday, I understand. I did exactly what you were doing. I wasn't a guard, but they sent me out to handle the critics all the time. Excuse me, that's one of my, I'm shedding, or else it's Elvis, my cat. But it's just one of those things where it's tricky. You really stay focused. I mean, they're grumpier than ever now, which is another huge, what Scientology calls an out point. It's something wrong. It's like they're supposed to be these cheery, happy, everything's winning people, but then they're standing there, and we started. They've got these huge signs, all are welcome. So, okay, we're going to go in, right? So we start to go in, and they go, you can't go in. And I'm like, why not? You got the sign that says all are welcome. Read the sign. That's what the guy said. That's all he could say. Read the sign. And I thought, I said, you know what? You probably think you're going to get clear and OT in here, but here's the fact. Most staff, certainly most Sea Org in Scientology, are not clear and they're not OT. And the truth is, that's good news for you because it only gets worse the higher up you get. They won't tell you that, but you can kind of watch and look at it and see the OTs. Are they really OT? This guy came around yesterday who was an OT and gave me this really dirty look. And I said, who are you kidding? You're going to try to pitch to me that you're OT. I'm OT7. I got it, man. You have no skills, zip, zero, that came from this Church of Scientology. You may be an able being, but it's not from these guys. And don't try to pretend it is. And he went running down the street. So, their OT, TR0 is supposed to be you could confront anything easily on any subject. Can they? Hell no. So there you go. That was our picket. We had a lot of fun. Thank you to all the guys that came and picketed. Next time, I hope more do. And any of the guys that we missed that wanted to come, next time we'll make sure to call you. And I love you guys. Please keep passing around my link because more people get out every single day. I hear from people and it's so fantastic. And one last thing, someone called me who's been out for years, and this person wanted to tell their story. But it was lose my kid, tell my story. And I had to say to him, look, man, here's my view. Keep your kid. There's enough stories out here at this point. And it might help you, but write it down in a journal or something, but don't make it public if you're going to lose your child over it. Your children mean everything. And it's very important that you stay in touch with them and love them. There's not a lot of love in the Church of Scientology. They can talk all they want about ARC, which is Affinity Reality Communication, but you don't hear a lot about love. You really don't, because love is a different thing and it gets to your heart, and they don't want that really, because if things get to your heart, you might start waking up and thinking. So anyway, that's my call. I got to go, but I love you guys. Peace out and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.